Chapter 281, One Man's Battlefield, TL by Bagelson. Under Hulina's orders, the Spirit Empire army in Jelling Pass quickly mobilized. At times like this, even if those ranking officers were a bit resentful of the Spirit Hall Spirit Masters, they still understood that if they didn't work together with one purpose right now, and if the Heaven Do Imperial army broke through Jelling Pass, the consequences would be difficult to imagine. Especially the ones who came from the kingdoms and duchies that were originally part of the Heaven Do Empire understood what they would face. Their treason in joining the Spirit Empire separated them from the Heaven Do Empire like fire and water. Hulina leaned on the wall, intently gazing at the other side, as if looking for something. Complex feeling flashed past her eyes, but very soon turned to resolve. She clearly understood that she absolutely couldn't hesitate at times like this. The Heaven Do Imperial army pushed the whole way to 20 li from Jelling Pass before coming to a halt. This time the formation was enormously different. The light cavalry was still on the flanks, all knocking arrows to bows, quietly waiting, but the central vanguard had changed to legions mainly made up of heavy infantry, pushing forward all kinds of siege equipment. The heavy cavalry wasn't in the central position. In the center was regular infantry, heavy infantry on their flanks. Behind came the Heaven Do Empire's Spirit Master Legion and the Tang army. The heavy cavalry was furthest in the rear of the entire Heaven Do Imperial army formation. The biting cold killing intent leapt at Jelling Pass, headed by Tang San, the Shrek 7 Devils, Grandmaster, Flender, Luerlong, Sword Douluo, Bone Douluo, 7 Treasure Glaze Task Master Ning Fangji, Poison Douluo, as well as the Tang Sect Strength Hall Master Titan and Defense Hall Master Nui Gao all stood in front of the army instead of with their side Spirit Master Legion. And the Spirit Master Legion's position was instead commanded by Heaven Do Emperor Shuibing as well as Chief Commander Marshal Ji Long. Tang San was undoubtedly central to all these people. Even though the sea god trident he held was still dark, it had already become Tang San's trademark. His arrival made the Heaven Do Imperial army's vigor swiftly rise. The eyes of each soldier that looked at Tang San filled with a zealous light. It seemed as if this war couldn't possibly be lost as long as Tang San was here. The battle formation was arranged, the armies of both sides staring at each other. Tang San alone slowly left the formation, raising the sea god trident above his head. A ray of deeply golden light abruptly shot out from his forehead like lightning, hitting the sea god's heart. Instantly, the sea god trident's every line seemed to come alive, golden light roaming, shooting at the sky, as if it had become the center of the entire battlefield. An intense divine presence rendered Tang San completely golden. Those intense energy waves seemed to absorb everything around him. Give those certain victory, Tang San shouted out loud. What made all the Spirit Empire officials on the walls of Jelling Pass turn pale was that Tang San's voice actually traveled the entire 20 li distance to Jelling Pass, and at the same time also spread widely among the Heaven Do Empire's millions of men. Heaven, Do, certain, victory, king, land, how, certain, victory, rumble. The Heaven Do Imperial advanced one step with each word, the soldiers constantly repeating the same chant. The army once again advanced, their imposing manner rising slightly with each word. That terrifying clamor beat against Jelling Pass with an almost tangible pressure, let alone the defenders of Jelling Pass. Even the 5 title Douluo following Hulina changed expressions. In the battle that day, Tang San had left them an extremely deep impression. Bibi Dong was clearly stronger than him, but still lost. The might of the sea god trident breaking the walls with a single attack had left an even more indelible impression with each Spirit Empire national here. Tang San suddenly moved. With golden light streaming from the sea god trident, he dashed towards the Jelling Pass like a golden meteor. At the same moment, the Heaven Do Empire powers that were previously following him also all moved, following close behind him. Moving quickly, they had already completely left their army far behind in the blink of an eye. With at least Spirit Douluo level powers all sprinting all out, 20 li passed in a blink. Soon they were already coming closer and closer to Jelling Pass. Holy maiden, what do we do? Watching the sea god trident come ever closer, the atmosphere on the Jelling Pass walls quickly turned panicked. These people already had an innate fear of Tang San. Again seeing that familiar figure, Hulina softly bit the top of her tongue, using the pain to break out of that intensely unusual mood. She coldly watched these mainstay powers of the Spirit Empire next to her. In these circumstances, it should undoubtedly be the responsibility of these title Douluo to lead a portion of the Spirit Master Legion's strongest Spirit Masters to snipe Tang San's people. But these Spirit Masters had no fighting spirit. Having them sortie to meet the enemy head on now definitely wasn't a good plan. Hulina wasn't Bibi Dong. She didn't have Bibi Dong's strength, and even less Bibi Dong's powerful strategies and authority. These title Douluo were all Spirit Hall elders, and she couldn't control them completely. Consequently, Hulina could only settle for second best, lowering her voice. Quietly observe the situation, be ready to block them at any time. They absolutely cannot be allowed to crest the walls. Yes, hearing what Hulina said, the high-level Spirit Masters on the walls clearly heaved a sigh of relief. Hulina looked at the distant Tang San who was now already approaching the moat, thinking to herself, "Oh Tang San, what are you trying to do? What's your goal in charging with so few people?" She understood Tang San extremely well. With Tang San's intelligence, he clearly wouldn't shoot without a goal. Entering so deeply with a handful of people, he definitely had some important plan. Hulina had seen Tang San, and with the purple demon eye he had naturally also seen her. Tang San of course wouldn't be so conflicted as Hulina was. To him, even if he appreciated Hulina, Spirit Hall was still his absolute enemy. The hatred between both sides really was far too deep. Besides annihilating the enemy, there was no chance for mediation. When there was still one lead to Jelling Pass, already within range of the fortress ballistae, Tang San suddenly stopped. The golden light revolving around him instantly grew even more intense, and at the same time his blue-silver emperor spirit was also released. 9 spirit rings in black and red were neatly arranged around him, and it was also at this moment 5 rays of strong light shot at him from behind, each representing strength boost, agility boost, spirit power boost, attack boost, as well as attribute boost, all illuminating Tang San from Ning Rongrong's 9 treasure glazed pagoda. The tip of his left foot hit the ground. An intense energy wave exploded from below his left foot, and the ground around his foot cracked simultaneously in a 30-meter diameter, revealing the frightening force of Tang San's step. He instantly spun a turn around that left foot, completely extending the right arm holding the sea god trident, muscles and tendons stretching to the limit. It was as if he drew a giant bow like the full moon. Golden light flashed, and the sea god trident shot out like a javelin. The instant that Golden Died True Divine Tool left his hand, Hulina on top of the walls changed expression. Golden light flashed and disappeared, an enormous explosion, and it struck one of the gates of Jelling Pass. Last time when the sea god trident flew out with the golden 13 halberds one goes without return, it had already lost its edge by the time it hit Jelling Pass after first hitting Bibi Dong. But this time, even though Tang San didn't use the divine ability one goes without return, with his physical strength plus rank 93 spirit power as well as the sea god trident's own 108,000 Jin weight, the power attack already surpassed anything below a rank 95 title Douluo's 9th direct attack spirit ability, especially in terms of force. Even Bibi Dong's strongest spirit abilities couldn't compare. The Jelling Pass gate after all wasn't a wall, and amidst a loud explosion, it turned into a cloud of countless splinters in that terrifying blast. One of the 4 gates was already completely smashed. Guarding behind the gate, at least 100 soldiers had died without leaving intact corpses from the flying splinters. Even more frightening things were still in store. Tang San spun in the air, an intense light in his hands. That golden within white light emanated an enormous attractive force. The sea god trident didn't penetrate too deeply when it smashed the gate, and was forcibly yanked back, cutting an arc through the air as it was pulled by that whirlpool-like energy in Tang San's hands. After mastering the Tang Sect's secret skill controlling crane catching dragon, this was the first time Tang San had used it at full force. The sea god trident was thrown into the air and spun along with Tang San's fast rotations. After turning in a circle with Tang San at the center, it once again flew out towards Jelling Pass. Quick, all ballistae, focus fire, stop him. On the walls, Hulina shouted loudly. Even though the walls of Jelling Pass were too stable to be shaken by one gate being broken, Hulina now understood what Tang San was doing. She immediately ordered the ballistae to shoot, and simultaneously looked at the 5 title Douluo next to her. Elders lead 100 Imperial Spirit Masters above the Spirit Sage level to attack. He must be stopped immediately. The 5 title Douluo looked at each other, but none of them moved. When they once again saw the power of the sea god trident, they really didn't want to fight Tang San. You all. Hulina glared at them, even if she already guessed that these elders wouldn't follow her orders completely. When it actually happened it still made her furious. Blowfish Douluo frowned. Holy maiden, we'd better rely on the defense of the walls. We have the Angel Legion and Sacred Dragon Legion inside. Even if Tang San breaks the gates, we're not worried they will charge inside. On the contrary, that will cause them even greater losses. One sharp giant crossbow bolt after another flew from the walls, all targeting Tang San, their whistling sounds piercing the soul. Unfortunately, they weren't enough to block Tang San. Multicolored lights constantly brightened next to Tang San. His comrades were already using all sorts of spirit abilities to defend him. Before these spirit Douluo and higher-level powers, ballisti were no threat. Not one bolt could approach within 50 meters of Tang San before they were intercepted by spirit abilities. Boom! Just at this moment, a second loose sound reverberated. Another gate was broken. Tang San basically didn't pause, and once the fourth loud sound echoed across the battlefield, Jolene Pass 4 great gates were completely turned to splinters. As Tang San completed the 4 successive strikes and once again held the Sea God Trident, he couldn't help breathing heavily, but the mysterious Heaven Skill's powerful recovery capability also quickly recovered his spent spirit power as he did. Jolene passed drawbridges when in front of the gates, but rather to the sides. Hu Lin's previous order had been carried out, and all the 4 giant drawbridges were destroyed. At Shui Bang's nod, Marshal Ji Long raised his longsword, passing down the order to charge. The Central Army troops didn't even push the siege equipment, instead directly charging towards Sterling Pass. At least 200,000 soldiers were thrown into the first wave, charging furthest ahead. Each man carried a 1 meter wide and 1.5 meter long wooden board on their back, ready for some unknown use. The Spirit Master Legion and Tang Army also subsequently moved, quickly approaching Jolene Pass. Seeing the drawbridges destroyed, Tang San couldn't keep a cold smile from the corners of his mouth. They had of course expected something like this, and naturally also had ways to deal with it. Senior Sword Douluo, move. Shen Xin gave a deep shout, the 7-kill sword attacking. Its 9th black star shone with light as the 7-kill sword rose against the wind, instantly turning into an enormous sword, filling the sky and falling. It wasn't attacking the walls, but rather chopped at the moat. Boom! The 7-kill sword descended, as if severing the moat with one cut. The terrifying sword energy practically instantly broke the entire moat. The river of course wouldn't really break, but a 10-meter wide gulch was left behind on both sides, slanting into the moat. Shen Xin still wasn't finished. The sword shadow flashed repeatedly in the air, and altogether 13 cuts struck the moat, leaving behind equally enormous gulches. Each gulch was like a slope, spreading into the water. A rank 97 tidal Douluo's power was displayed. These terrifying 13 cuts wasn't any less intimidating than Tang San's 4 trident throws. The 5 Spirit Empire tidal Douluo on the wall drew cold breaths. They were represent the people at Jolene Pass closest to Sword Douluo's strength, and naturally also sensed Sword Douluo's attack the deepest. They asked themselves who of them could block Sword Douluo's attack, and were also even happier that they hadn't followed Hulina's orders to fight outside the walls before. After those 13 cuts, the 7-kill sword changed back into its original form and returned to Sword Douluo's hand. His face also seemed a bit pale, gasping slightly as he held the sword. At the same time as he returned the sword, Tang San threw his Sea God Trident for the 5th time. Only this time his actions startled even those on his side. The trident wasn't thrown at the walls, but rather into the air, blades facing up, shaft facing down. It fell straight into the moat with a splash. Tang San's expression was a bit sneering. Pushing the middle 3 fingers of his right hand against the Sea God Trident brand on his forehead, all his energies instantly rose to the peak. Even Tang San himself hadn't expected today's battle to go so smoothly, without the obstacles he had imagined. The Spirit Empire army just waited quietly, not even sending out Spirit Masters to meet the attack. Throwing out his right arm, the 3 fingers he previously pressed against his forehead were aimed at the moat. A ray of extremely condensed golden light instantly erupted, directly shooting into the water at the position the Sea God Trident just fell. The instant that golden light entered the water, an enormous golden shadow appeared behind Tang San, a dignified aura that made both the Spirit Masters on the walls as well as those nearby feel fearful. Each person had a bizarre feeling in their eyes, even though Tang San still stood by the shore. Right now he seemed to have melted together with the moat, or to be precise, that the moat had melded with him. Perhaps it was because of the countless splashes from Sword Douluo's 13 cuts that made the moat seem to boil. But just at this moment an extremely towering stillness fell, freezing like a mirror. Bizarre ripples spread out, not ripples of water, but ripples of light, waves of golden light, and the next moment, as Hulina gazed down from the wall, shockingly, she saw the entire Jolene Pass moat had actually turned completely golden. Tang San mocked in a voice only his comrades could hear. Even if I'm still not the Sea God, isn't it insane to try and stop my army with water? As his words fell, he pulled up with his right arm, a ray of golden light breaking out of the water. The Sea God Trident that fell into the water before radiated its divine golden color as it rose straight into the air. The Sea God light erupting from Tang San's forehead suddenly changed, from the previous straight line into circular ripples, quietly spreading out. The Sea God's heart below the Sea God Trident's blades blossomed with a blindingly intense light. Tang San pointed forward with his right hand, directly at the top of the Jolene Pass walls, and the blades of the trident equally pointed towards the top of the walls. Crash! Under everyone's dumbstruck gazes, the golden water in the moat actually instantly surged under the influence of that light, instantly rising high up, climbing into the air. Back on the Sea God Island, the Sea God 7 Sacred Pillar Guardian Douluo had once relied on the power of the sacred pillars to control all the water in the sea within a sea. What Tang San controlled now was the true Sea God Trident, and his own strength also surpassed those guardians. Even though he controlled a moat so wide, but actually not that large in area, it really wasn't all that difficult for him as a Sea God candidate. The Sea God was a god with the power to control the energy of all water, and the water in the moat was still water. Compared to the vastness of the sea, it was actually insignificant. This was also the reason why Tang San was so mocking when he saw the Spirit Empire try to defend with a moat. Trying to use water to block a Sea God candidate, wasn't that just ridiculous? All the water in the moat fully rose into the air, so much that even most of the moisture in the silt at the bottom was extracted. The Sea God Trident suddenly pointed forward, and the moat water in the air instantly turned into a raging wave that surged towards the walls. What Tang San used was the Sea God Trident's water control ability, as well as the Sea God's heart's fast sea raging wave ability, a group attack ability, even though the river it now controlled was rather large, and scattered the attack power of this ability. Without a doubt, it still displayed quite considerable force. All the water in the moat flooded Jolene Pass in almost an instant, even though there were a lot of high-level Spirit Masters on top of the walls. They were already scared of Tang San, and with that terrifying golden wave in front of them, each person could only manage their own defense, basically not even thinking of sparing the strength to block the entire wave. All this was too sudden. The giant wave overflowed the sky. Large numbers of common soldiers were directly washed off the Jolene Pass walls, flung into the pass. In fact, the walls were close to 100 meters high, and falling from such a height, plus the impact from the water, instantly caused disastrous losses for those common soldiers. And with Tang San focusing all his strength on controlling the water to strike those menacing ballisti, after the wave passed, more than a third were ruined. As Hulina used spirit abilities to resist the surging water, her brain was completely blank. It was the first time she had ever seen something like it. The first time she commanded such a large-scale battle, confronting the terrifying strength Tang San revealed, as well as the millions of soldiers charging, the moat suddenly rising into the air and attacking. All this, everything brought her close to collapse. The blue-silver Emperor right leg bone flight ability burst forth, and Tang San soared into the air, catching the Sea God Trident. He directly pointed into Jolene Pass, shouting, "Kill!" The charging Heaven Do Imperial army accelerated once again. Looking down from above, the army threw itself at Jolene Pass even more straightforwardly than the moat water just did. On the walls right now, there wasn't even the people to control the ballisti. Meet the enemy, Hulina shouted. This was also the only order she could give. Compared to Tang San's shout filled with murderous killing intent, her voice seemed so weak. Tang San was in no hurry to charge Jolene Pass. There was after all still large numbers of Spirit Empire powers there. He only coldly looked down on the chaos within from the air. He couldn't keep his heart from growing burning hot. The battle for vengeance had already begun. The Spirit Empire would finally pay the price for all that they had done. Very soon, the Heaven Do Imperial army's charge arrived. The boards carried on the backs of the soldiers charging furthest ahead finally showed their use. One board after another was thrown into the empty moat, and they rushed down along the cut Sword Douluo had created, and then climbed up the opposite bank, madly dashing towards Jolene Pass. With that godlike King Lan Hao in midair, each soldier's eyes brimmed with a fanatic mood. The red and white-colored Death God domain descended from above, covering an enormous range. It had no effect on Spirit Masters, but the influence on common soldiers was enormous. The originally already panicked Spirit Empire soldiers turned even more panicked in the Death God domain, and the Heaven Do Empire soldiers that originally already held the advantage in morale grew even stronger. Within the Death God domain, they even forgot about death and pain. Only endless slaughter remained. The 5 tidal Douluo behind Hulina had already released their spirits, but as they saw Tang San floating in the air, not one had any thoughts of attacking. They only watched silently, their eyes bewildered. If you don't act, Jolene Pass is finished. Even if you die, you have to stop Tang San. With him here, our defenses will collapse. Hulina was now almost hysterical, shouting at the tidal Douluos if insane. The 5 title Douluo looked at each other, for a moment also at a loss what to do. That day they couldn't win when they had even more people, and then they were even led by Bibi Dong. Now they were only 5. Would they really risk their lives? Cultivating to the title Douluo level was so difficult. Who would want to risk it? She is right. This is an order. Get out there. A hoarse voice echoed. The 5 title Douluo's expression changed as they turned around to look, only to find a pale Bibi Dong arriving on the walls. But before the title Douluo could go carry out Bibi Dong's order, their opponents were already landing on the walls. The powers that had accompanied Tang San all pounced at the walls of Jelling Pass. Those with their own flight abilities used them, and those without relied on Oscar's flying mushroom sausage to crest the walls. More than 10 powers charging at once. At this moment, those title Douluo finally also understood that if they still didn't act, then the ending might be even more miserable. The 5 roared at the same time, releasing their spirit abilities and charging. When hated enemies meet, they will be even more furious. One side only had 5 peak level powers, but possessed large numbers of rank 70 and 80 spirit masters as support. The other side's 10-something people were practically all peak level powers, and even Tang San with the strength to contend with big Douluo. As both sides had just collided, sparks flew all over. Poison Douluo once again found his old enemy, the blowfish Douluo that counted him. He didn't believe he couldn't defeat this fellow. Sword Douluo 7 kill sword swept in a circle, directly confining 2 of the enemy title Douluo. Bone Douluo laughed out loud, also finding 2. With Ning Fungi's full support, even though they were both 1 versus 2, they still weren't at a disadvantage. The enemy's 5 title Douluo were directly blocked. Ning Rongrong's support abilities were unleashed. Daimo Bai, Oscar, Ma Hongjian, Zhu Zuqing, Xiao Wu, Flender, and Lu Ellen blocked those rank 70 and 8 spirit masters with her support. Dazzling spirit abilities rendered the top of Jelling Pass in beautiful light. Tang San and Grandmaster confronted Bibi Dong and Hulina darting in front of her, both a pair of master and disciple. Tang San held the sea god trident and stood ahead and to the side of Grandmaster, glowering at Bibi Dong. Seeing Bibi Dong, he couldn't help recalling his parents, recalling the dead Deming and Erming. Hulina blocked in front of Bibi Dong without showing the slightest intention of retreat. Her gaze was fixed on Tang San, her mood complex, but even more steady. Bibi Dong's face was pale. The eyes that usually radiated power were somewhat lost as she looked at Grandmaster. The injuries to her soul made all of her seem somewhat weak. Why? Grandmaster's eyes were tinged with red, his fists tightly clenched, his expression even more complex than Hulina's as he asked Bibi Dong. He had wanted to ask Bibi Dong this one question for a very, very long time, but only now could he ask it to her face. Bibi Dong smiled a smile that made people's hair stand. Of course it's for you. Did you forget how your family bullied you? They despised you, even pushed you out of the clan. You should thank me. I helped you kill all those people who mistreated you. Lu Erlong should thank me too. Without your family blocking it, can't you be together without anyone stopping it? Bullshit. No matter how I was treated, it was the clan that gave me life. I will always be a son of the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan. Grandmaster's eyes shot flame, speaking angrily. Bibi Dong was still smiling, the smile growing increasingly mournful, and even some strange ridicule. Then so what? Anyway, the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon clan has already gone up in smoke. What use is there in talking about it? Ridiculous, truly ridiculous. Ha ha, ha ha ha. You're insane. Grandmaster roared. Bibi Dong's face was cold. Looking at Grandmaster, her eyes suddenly turned a bit strange, even a bit crazy. Yes, I'm insane. I'm insane. Why? I want revenge. Revenge on everyone in this world. I will become the most wicked person on the Douluo Continent. Every life in this world is evil, each one. It doesn't matter how you see me. I've already done what I've done. All evil was done by me. But so what? I hear you're the Heaven Do Empire State Preceptor now. Xia Gang, don't worry. Once I've destroyed the Heaven Do Empire, how about I let you be king? Come. Don't you want to kill me? Then come and kill me. Hulina fiercely guarded Bibi Dong, using her body to block in front of her. Teacher, don't. I'll definitely protect you. Tang San, if you want to kill my teacher, you'll have to pass my corpse first. Bibi Dong stared blankly. Idiot girl, you really are foolish. Don't tell me you think I can't see you like this, boy. Hearing Bibi Dong say this, Tang San and Hulina shook simultaneously, looking eye to eye. Tang San frowning, Hulina somewhat astonished and fearful. Grandmaster stared blankly. Teacher, I don't. Hulina rushed to explain. Bibi Dong smiled. This time her smile was very gentle. The large mood swings made people feel frightened. Idiot girl, your teacher is experienced. I can see a lot from how you look at him. Back then I looked at a man with exactly such eyes. Only one man. How could I not know? Yes, Tang San really is very remarkable. I pose as a genius, but he is even more talented than me. You have good eyes. Unfortunately, you're my disciple. Is there any difference for you and him as for me and Xiao Gang? Even if you agree, would he want you? We are both women without anyone. Teacher. 2 clear teardrops fell from Hulina's beautiful eyes, no longer able to forcefully restrain the emotions in her heart, but she still unflinchingly guarded in front of Bibi Dong. Tang San sighed deeply, slowly raising the sea god trident, facing Hulina. Get out of the way. I don't want to fight you. You should know how much Bibi Dong has done. She must die. With her death, this world can be at peace. No matter what, she is my teacher. Hulina looked distressed at Tang San. From Tang San's eyes she could also see that this man at most pitied her. There was no love. When he listened to her teacher speak just now he had even turned his head to look at Xiao Wu, and his expression in that instant was all that she had yearned for, but could never have. She understood that Tang San's heart only had room for Xiao Wu. Her beautiful eyes were filled with distress. Kill me if you want, but please, let my master go. I beg of you, okay? Tang San suddenly closed his eyes, then quickly opened them again. Hulina's plaintive expression actually swayed his heart a bit. In fact, Hulina's spirit possessed enormous natural charm, and now being expressed with true emotions, it was even more convincing. With a cold snort, Tang San forcefully hardened his heart, instantly stepping forward with his right foot, his left hand swatted towards Hulina light as a feather, his palm instantly turning the color of jade. Facing Tang San's attack, Hulina actually neither dodged nor retreated. Her beautiful eyes filled with poignant sorrow, as well as a sense of release. Straightening her tall chest, she directly went to meet it.